The last line of
the last line of Hayam and Beis, Chazara. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. Ki Avina Talia, when I was a young boy, Amina Milsa, I said something, the Sha'in al-Savaya, that I asked the Chacham, the older people about, Vishtagach Kavasei. And it was found that I was right. So what was this saying? Chamas zu Tveria. Chamas that the pasuk is speaking of is Tveria. Velama nikru shema Chamas. Why did it have the name Chamas? Al shum Chamei Tveria. Because of the Chamei Tveria that are in Tveria, the hot springs of Tveria, so we call that Chamas. Rakas zu Tzipari. Rakas means Tzipari. Velama nikru shema Rakas. And why was it called Rakas? Mishum de Midlaya Karaksa de Nahara. Because it was elevated like the banks of a river. Rakas means bank, I think. So Raksa, the Nahara, because it was elevated like the bank of a river, so it was called after a bank of a river. Kineras zu Ginusar. Velama nikru shema Kineras. Why was it called Kineras if it was really the place was called Ginusar? The reason why it had this nickname, the Mesike Peira Kekala de Kinre. Because the fruits from Ginusar was so sweet, like the sound that a harp makes. Amar Rava. Rava said, Mi Kalamanda Omar Rakas Lav Tvaryahi. Is there people that actually say that Rakas is not Tvarya? When people here in Bavel, who are an Adam Gadol dies, Hasam Safi Lehachi. Over there in Tveria, they're maspedem Hachi Gadol Hu B'Sheshach. He was a great person in Bavel. V'shem Loi Barakas, and his name carries to Tveria. Even in Tveria, they know about him because he has such a good name in Bavel. Sheshach, we discussed, was Atbash. I don't know if I was clear in explaining how Atbash works. Aleph mirrors Tosh, mirrors Tov, and Shin mirrors Beis. So basically, look at the whole Aleph Beis from Aleph to Tov, and then Aleph goes to Tov, Beis goes to Shin. So Lamed and Chaf are like right next to each other. I don't know if
and so on and so forth.
And so on, right. And when the Aaron gets over there to Tveria, they would go out in the streets and they would call out, lovers of Yisrael, of Yidden. Sridim means the plate, like the leftover, the those that are left over. We discussed yesterday. It comes from the pasuk in Yirmiyah, Sridei Charev, survivors, Sridim, Yoshvei Rakas. The lovers of Yisrael, Yoshvei Rakas, that live in Tveria, come out and accept those that were slain, those that were killed from the deep place, which is Babel. When Rabbi Zera was nifter, the one who was being masked with him got up and said, Eretz Shinar, the land of Bavel, Hara V'Yolda, conceived and gave birth to Rabbi Zera. Eretz Tzvi Gidla Sha'ashueha, the land of Tzvi raised up its Sha'ashueha. Ayin Allah, woe to her, Amra Rakas. Rakas said, Ki avda klechem dasa, because it lost its valuable keli. Ela Amar Rava. So Rava said, Rava actually, but it's Rava. Rava's in parentheses. So Rava, Chamas zu Chamei Grar. Chamas is actually Chamei Grar. Rakas zu Tveria. Kineres zu Kinusar. V'lama nikro shemo Rakas. And why is it called Rakas, Tveria? Shafil Reikonin, even the ones that are empty, Sheba, of Tveria, Malay mitzvahs krima, are full of mitzvahs like the seeds of a pomegranate. Rabbi Yirmiyah Omar, Rakas Shema. Rakas is its name. Veloma Nikro Shema Tveria. So why is it called Tveria? Sheyushavis b'tiburu shel Eretz Yisrael, because it sits in the middle of Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Omar, Rakas Shema. Rakas is its name. Veloma Nikro Shema Tveria. And why is it called Tveria? Shetoiver Isa, because it's very, very good looking. It looks very good. Shetoiver Isa. Adkan. Chazar. Omar Zeira. Zeira said, not to be confused with Rabbi Zeira that we discussed before, different person. Katrain Zut Tzipari. Kitrain. Kitrain Zut Tzipari. It's Tzipari, Kitrain. Lam Nikro Shema Tzipari. And why was it called Tzipari? Sheyushav b'rosh hahar ketzipar, because it's perched on top of the mountain like a bird. Fragt the Gemara v'kitron tzipari, and is kitron tzipari? Ay v'hakitron b'chalku shel zvulun havoi. The chsiv kitron was actually in the chelek of Zevulun's nachla. The chsiv Zevulun
the pasuk says, Zevulun loy hayrish es yoshvei Kidron. Zevulun did not drive out the people that were living in Kitron, ves yoshvei Nahalol, and the people that were living in Nahalol. And I saw it's basically Zevulun was punished for this because he's supposed to l'schai kol neshama. So Zevulun was punished because they were supposed to drive out these people. Instead, they kept them there and charged them taxes. Uzvulun Misraim al midosav. Also, it says over there that Zevulun complained about the land that he got. Shenemar Zevulun am cheref nafsho ilamos. Zevulun was a people that shamed their soul to death. Matam, what was Zevulun not happy about? Mishum de Naphtali, because Naphtali got Amarim Mesoda. Naphtali got land that was on the height of the fields. It was a higher portion. Amar Zvulun Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zvulun said before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam Lechai, to my brothers Nasata Lahem Sodi Suchramim. To my brothers you gave fields and vineyards. V'li Nasata Harim Gvois. And me you gave mountains and hills.
That you can't plant anything there.
Right, so also it depends what the person wants. Like it wasn't that Zvulun got a shracha piece. It was that that's what the Gemara is discussing. It was more that
it's different.
That's not what I wanted. And it seems to be more the focus on what Naphtali got is why Zvulun is called out for this. Not just that Zvulun wanted something else. It was like, oh, you gave them. Like anybody that has kids knows how that works. Why this one got and then that. It's all about not what I have. It's what Yenim. I'm saying today, if you get like the lakes and you get the ocean and you have the beachfront, that's the most expensive real estate. Nobody was going to say, oh, give me more farmland, I don't want the ocean today, right? So this was, and that was his complaint. You gave them feld, you gave them land, you gave them Okeechobee, and I got Miami Beach. That's what you're saying. Me, you gave lakes and rivers and sea and rivers. Amaloi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said back to Zevulun, Kulam tzrichen lecha, everybody needs you al yedei chalazin. Because the chalazin is found in your part, in the water, so everybody's going to need you for chalazin. Shenemar, usefune temunechol, the hidden and buried in sand. Tani Rav Yosef taught us, Sfune is a chalazin. When it says the hidden, it means chilazin. Temune, buried, zu, teris. Rashi learns that teris is a dog called tunina, which I'm assuming is tuna by reading the footnotes and whatever. It seems to be that's tuna is actually a pretty expensive fish. Bluefin tuna. Chol, zuzchuches levana. The sand is actually a very precious sand because it produces this white glass, which is very valuable. So Zevulun said, Ribono Shel Olam, Zevulun said to Hashem, Ribono Shel Olam, mi moidieni. Who's going to tell me that when people, okay, so I have all these resources, I have all these natural resources, but what if people just come and take it? So how am I going to know if people are taking, my stuff? Who's going to protect it? Amalai HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, Sham yizvchu zivchei tzedek. Over there, they're going to shecht a carbon of tzedek, a righteous carbon, just like siman zeh yehei lecha. This is going to be a siman for you. Kol hanoitel mimcha b'lo yidamim. Anybody that takes from you and doesn't pay for it, einoi moil b'parkmatya shaloi klum. It's not going to help him in his business at all. So if somebody comes and steals the chilazon to make tzitzis so that he could sell them for $50 a piece, whatever they sell a pair of tzitzis for, right? He's not going to make the money. So, and you see the people that make tzitzis, like, it's a good business. No, didn't the guy from Keter, he said it was a good... Right, so people, that's how we're going to know. It's just like a carbon. You can't bring a carbon that's from Gegambit, Behema. You can't bring stolen goods as a carbon. So too, over here, so it's not going to work for them. If they're going to come and steal your sand and try to make these precious glass, it's not going to work out for them. And that's how you're going to know if they stole it, if they're selling this precious glass and it's not going. Mm-hmm. Okay, and if you're going to tell me that Kitrin is Tzipari, we're going back on where we said that Kitrin is Tzipari. Why was Zavula not happy with the portion that it got? The Hahavia Tzipari Milsa de Adifa Tuva. Tzipari was actually a very nice, very good place. The Chitemo, the Lesbo, Zavas Chol V'Dvash. And if you're going to say that maybe there's no flowing milk and honey over there, Reish Lakish said, L'didi Chazi, I myself saw Zavas Chol V'Dvash the Tzipari. I myself saw the flowing milk and honey of Tzipari. V'Havya Shisha Asa Mil al Shisha Asa Mil.
It's the goats and everything, yeah? The goats eat the figs.
The goats eat the figs, and then the honey runs and flows. Yeah,
Right.
that's how. That's the Gemara.
Maybe
That's
that's-
the portion. That's the portion.
I mean, it's fig honey, but bees. Stammelzein, it's as well. So it's called.
Right. It's always called vash. Yeah, I don't know if there's so many bees in Eretz Yisrael. Right, and how much? And the flowing milk and honey of Tzipari was 16 mil by 16 mil. The chitema de loinafisha didei kidachu hey. The Amar Rabba Barbachana Rabbi Yochanan Dichasid. And everyone say, but still it wasn't that much. It's still, okay, he got, but how much was it? So Rabbi Barbachana says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan Dichasid Li, I saw the Zavas Chol Dvash the Cholar Yisrael, the Havia Kim Mibe Kube Ad Akro de Tulkabani. And it was like the measurement of Mibe Kubi till the port of Tulkabani. Esrim Atartim Parsa Orko Ufosti Oshisa Parsa. Right, and it was 26 by 6 Parsa. Basically, the measurements are that Tzipori had an eighth of all the milk and honey of Eretz Yisrael. So it's not like that it wasn't a big amount. I'm trying to go through it fast because we started a little late. And
22 parsa by 6 parsa.
22 by 6 as opposed to 6 by...
Okay.
Afilu hachi is like the Gemara sadis echrama adifale.
He would rather have fields.
He would rather have fields and he would rather have vineyards. The economy, we could learn this also from the pasuk Diksiv v'Naftali Amarayim Sadeh, because he's saying that Naftali was on the higher place. Shma mina. Adkan. So.